Let's move on to taking a look at our third bouquet and our second project of this tutorial. With our Feeling Tropical bouquet, we know for sure that Cymbidium are tropical blooms, so let's lean on in that to create something that's a little bit fruity. Here I have some beautiful magnolia acting as the backbone to my bouquet, and I have two types of Cymbidium to play with. We have the deliciously orangey hued stem of Manon, and in our mini Cymbidium we also have some Going West. Now both of these Cymbidium are renowned for their beautiful colours. I mean, just colours that you would often find really difficult to be able to source in flowers. That fantastic burnt orange and this gorgeous maroon brick tone, which is just so on trend right now. Let's take a look at how we'll be using them in our bouquets. So once I have my key stems in position, as you can see, I'm going to use a great little packing tip. I'm going to be using some aspidistra leaves to loop under and into the binding point. Now this is a technique that I first learned many years ago. If sometimes you're making upright or front-facing or contemporary bouquets, sometimes the stems can feel a little tricky to kind of hold in position. So by looping aspidistra leaves into the binding point, it can provide a little bit more stability to the stems, enabling you to have a better hold on the actual floral materials. It just helps you keep things more in position and makes your life a little bit easier. Once we have our Cymbidium and Magnolia firmly in place, I'm going to be using a beautiful leaf or two of Anthurium clarinervium in some test tubes on sticks, or some water picks as they're often called. What I'm going to do is just position these two leaves grouped together towards the front of the bouquet, and of course they will get their water source using the water pick, keeping them nice and fresh for as long as this bouquet is needed. Here we have our finished bouquet, a little bit more simple than last time, and we've obviously arranged our flowers in groups using fantastic 3-5-8 proportions. Our Manon representing our 8, our Anthurium representing our 5, and our wonderful Going West representing our 3. Here we have our finished tropical bouquet, created in exactly the same way as we did in our previous tutorial, again using the spiral hand-tie technique, but using clever groupings of materials, and of course divine color combinations with our Cymbidium to create something that really truly stands out. Here is a slightly larger version, which we've just added another stem of Manon in there and another orchid in there too, Madeleine, just to add a little bit more detail and to bring the bouquet out a little bit further. The great thing about working with Cymbidium in bouquets is that they make fantastic gifts or fantastic statements within a corporate environment, within a business environment, because they last for so long, giving excellent bang for their buck, because of course they have fantastic color, fantastic height, but when you combine that with a wonderful vase life too, really and truly we're on to a winner. So why not try out a bouquet such as this for your next corporate installation, your next corporate gift, or the next bouquet that you need to gift to a client yourself. You may be incredibly thrilled with the results that you find. Now again, the colours that I've chosen for this particular arrangement can be mixed and matched as you desire. Just because I've decided to work with Manon, Going West and Madeleine does of course not mean that you have to. As we've mentioned, Cymbidium come in a huge range of colour and size, meaning that you will be able to mix it up and match it up however you want to, depending on the project that you have in hand. Cymbidium work well together in complementary colours, and by that I mean colours that fit together, they're in sympathy with each other, right? They can look incredibly beautiful and really create some truly beautiful impressions. However, if you decide to add some contrast in there too, that can also look incredibly exciting. For example, if you wanted to mix things up a little bit here, you could take the orangey amber hues of Manon and maybe mix that with some fantastic Alice Anderson, which is a bright green Cymbidium, which looks absolutely sensational, and that could provide a little bit of zing into the bouquet, just really helping to lift things, to animate things, and to provide even more contrast within the bouquet that you're creating. When I'm creating any bouquet, I always like to work either with colours that complement each other and create a feeling of harmony, or work with colours that contrast each other to create some feelings of tension and contrast. Now it is of course entirely your choice. In my opinion, neither is better than the other, but they both do create very different moods, so be sure to choose carefully when you're selecting the materials you work with. Think of them as the way a painter may select different paints to combine together. They have effects and they can be incredibly powerful in creating the right mood in the right setting.